Yeah, Tuesday night lights low, sparks fly. War report after dark, better fall in line. From WWE to TNA, AU to Spark. Vince the Prince from the Northeast set it off in the dark. OG Steve led the charge. Cat Al, Eric us, 9 p.m. Eastern. Acknowledge the ring, acknowledge us.
Welcome everybody to another edition of the War Report After Dark, Royal Rumble edition, where we will break down our thoughts, concerns, likes, dislikes of the Rumble, talk a little Monday Night Raw, so we got a lot to cover. Vinnie Mac, happy birthday, my friend. How are you?
Hey, thank you much. Appreciate it.
So, we're gonna, I think, have to jump all around tonight in pertaining to the Rumble. And I want to start off with David Rosca over at YouTube.
Oh, boy.
Was Roman Reigns the right guy to win the Royal Rumble? That is a very debatable question. I mean, he is our tribal chief. We are going to get Roman Reigns CM Punk at WrestleMania, which we will definitely dive more into. But he's also never there.
Right. There's
so
other issues at hand.
You know, but we'll break down the Rumble all right. So let's start with this. So visually, fucking amazing that they were able to build this arena in like 28 days.
Yeah, that is crazy.
There is a video out there you can see where they show a sped up version from day one where it's just all desert. And then how they finish with the stadium. So it is pretty remarkable. The stage was beautiful. But they fucked up big time because it appears that the place is empty. And this is the Royal Rumble. This is one of the big four. But it's the lighting. Because people that were there that I've seen interviews with address this issue and said it was packed. It was just the lighting.
See, that was what I thought as well, is that at first I thought it looked really dead and empty. And then I was looking closely. I'm like, no, they've got these lights next to the people in the seats, and the lights are washing everybody out.
Yep. So visually, that sucked.
Right.
They were loud though. The crowd was always, fired up as they always are. So they kick us off with the Women's Rumble. Okay. I thought last year I said that I liked the Women's Rumble more than the men's. This year, I think I like the men's more than I like the women's.
Yeah, the women's was no good.
I don't think it was terrible. However, and this goes for both men's and women's, another year, very few surprises. Now, you can make a case for the fact that it was in Saudi, so it's a big trip. But, on the women's side, you were hoping for a Paige return, which from what Paige has said, she wasn't invited. So that wasn't even like an option.
Well, that's very weird.
She's kind of made it clear she's open to coming back, but So that didn't happen. You didn't get AJ, which I thought we would get. You didn't, but then you had breakouts. Like Sol Ruka
Oh, amazing.
was fantastic. She's gonna get called up probably right after Mania. But she's fantastic. She put on a show. Nia Jax, or actually the biggest standout for the women, I hate to say it, was the Bougie Bully. They made her a monster in the women's. She, I think, had the most eliminations as well, and she had some big name eliminations. There were times
had
she
some
eliminated two at once.
Great eliminations, big names too. People that I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah, they made her look like $1 million.
yeah.
The one
Who
problem.
else looked really good? Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. With who looked good before I start fucking complaining.
I was gonna say, you know who else? I was surprised, but that's also because we don't get to see her very much in the ring anyway. What's her face?
Kiara's friend, right? Whatever her name is, from Sidekick.
Yes,
She had like the zebra,
Kiana
the white
James.
and black stuff.
Kiana James,
She looked amazing.
right?
I was watching it here with Mitch, and we're like, wow, I don't think I've ever seen her wrestle. Like, she looks great.
I couldn't believe it. I was very surprised, but again, it's because she's always just ringside with Julia. She's never really involved. She's had a couple matches, but
Steve,
yeah,
I have to say something,
please
and it started at the Rumble, and you're going to be very happy with me.
talk to me.
Your girl, the hot blonde one that I say can't wrestle.
That's funny.
what's
That's
her
so
face?
funny.
What's her name again?
Maxine Dupree.
Maxine Dupree.
Yeah.
She's growing on me.
Is she?
Oh,
I
my
like her as a
God.
nutty, snappy person as she's doing it in the back. Like she just snaps out of nowhere. I fucking love it. I think it's
See?
great.
Here we go.
Well, they found-
growing on me.
They needed to give her a gimmick. You can't just be a random blonde girl that gets the shit kicked out of her by Natty Neidhart and somehow beats Becky Lynch.
I
Well,
think
now-
the suspenders did it for me. Her taking off the suspenders like changed my whole view on her.
She's gonna do it like Kurt Angle.
Yeah. She's fucking
or
great.
Braun
I love
Breaker.
it. The Braun Breaker, yeah.
But Natty looked good. New music. I
Oh,
like the
God.
music. In fact, two people got new music. She got new music, which I actually enjoyed. They did change Stephanie Vaquerza, which we found out on Raw, which I did not like. But we'll go further into that later. But Natty looked good in the Rumble. I mean, you did have a lot of Becky Lynch, of course, looked good. Her elimination was great. Now she's talking to the lawyers because she claims her feet never touched the floor. So she's just doing her thing. But overall, the women did a great job. The finish to it, I liked. I like how it came down to Liv, Tiffany, and SoCal, and I just like how that finish came to be. And I knew going in my head that Liv was gonna win because they made a whole big to do with the fact that she's always lucky in Saudi.
I mean,
Yeah, but-
look, I was just gonna say one thing. So Ruka, that girl, man, is she an athlete?
She's incredible.
She had so many great spots, and the fact that they put her, she lasted to the top three, right? Last three.
Final
Yeah,
three.
she was in there, I think, over 47 minutes too.
That's yeah. I think she was the Iron Woman of the women, right? She was the Iron Woman.
I think so.
I mean, like, could you say any more from a rookie that what Triple H and the rest of the creative thinks about you when you're finishing top three in Romania?
Well, yeah, it says a lot. I mean and that's she really put a hell of a show on. Charlotte Flair being number one did a great job. They also did advance a lot of stories in the women's because now you had Charlotte eliminate Alexa by accident, so that's going to probably solidify that team breaking up. You have the return of Brie Bella, which I mean it's got to be that they were in Saudi, but she did get the loudest pop of the night.
The loudest.
The loudest. And there were women crying in the crowd.
Yeah.
So say what you want, but that Bella Army is a real thing. And they were so excited that she came back. But now you got the Bella Twins back together. So now you have them going for the tag titles. You had Asuka and Kairi Sane. Kairi Sane eliminated Asuka by mistake. So now there's a rift there. Liv eliminated Rodriguez, which will go further into Raw. But something tells me that's not over. So it did further and continue a lot of story. It set up Becky Lynch and Natty for the IC title. I could see that being a triple threat later on, like Maxine, Becky, and Natty. But I still think somehow they're going to set up between now and Mania. If Becky still has the IC title, I believe we're getting Becky AJ for the IC title.
That would make sense.
Right. Yeah, but do you want to put the title on AJ Lee as a part-timer?
I think she would be more regular while holding the belt.
She would have to be.
Right.
Like, that's the thing. They would have to say, listen, we're going to give you the belt, but you have to be here for 3 months or 4 months or until SummerSlam, whatever the fuck it is. Like, that's part of the job.
I liked what I don't know. Like, I liked the Rumble this year, actually, the women's Rumble better than the man's this year.
Okay.
I'm like opposed to you guys, like, because think about it. You guys started talking about like, it wasn't that great, and then we've been saying nothing but good things about it. I thought it was very good, and like you said, it gave you so many other more avenues.
I didn't say it was bad. I just said I liked the men's a little bit more. I mean, I hear what you're saying, but I think it's more just the lack of surprises. Like,
Well,
even
the
though
lag.
there were
Speaking about
few,
lag, the lacking of the men's, I think, was even worse.
well,
yeah, that
we
was
got,
the men's Rumble was
The
pretty
men's
rough,
was
too.
worse at that in that category, I think.
Well, let's jump into the men's.
Well, so I want to just point out a few things about this women's Rumble. I don't know if
go
you
ahead.
guys noticed, but first of all, it was way longer than the men's Rumble by like 10
Yes.
minutes. It was an hour 11 versus like just under an hour for the men.
I
think
did not notice that.
they were doing 2-minute entrance for the women, and then I think they were like, oh shit, that was too long, so they cut it back down to 90 seconds, or they were doing 90 seconds, they cut it to a minute, whatever it was. But the thing I found very interesting was that when number 30 got in the ring, there were 14 women still active
Wow.
in the Rumble when number 30 got in. So after everybody made all their entrances, then they did usually there's that like everybody out of the pool moment right in the middle where they just throw out a bunch of jabronis, but they did not. They saved it for after everybody entered, and then they did, instead of a final, because we all expect the same thing, final 4, everybody's at one turnbuckle, and they all stare at each other, and the crowd goes, ooh, and then everybody looks at the WrestleMania and goes, ah, and they didn't do it. They did the final 3, and I was like, ooh, why did they do that? And then once you saw the finish, all 3 of them on the outside, Sol Ruka tries that ridiculous it looks cool as hell, but it's a ridiculous finisher. She does this backflip, and then there's this little shove, boop, and she just goes, and she lands on her back, splat on the mat. Finish was great. The right person won. I don't know if we'll say the same thing at the end of the men's Rumble. Maybe we will, but the right woman won, except in the moment you could have definitely called an audible and had Brie Bella or Sol Ruka win that Rumble, and nobody would be mad. I mean, American fans would be mad about Brie Bella, but I'm saying in terms of the reaction that would have happened, you had a couple good choices.
I'll throw a few more names in there. I think that the Lash girl, as dominant as she was, I would have been mad if she had won that shit.
I haven't been on board with Lash Legend. She impressed me.
She impressed me. For the first
She
time,
looked
she impressed me.
And it just shows you about creative, right? How creative has such a powerful degree of how you get pushed and how people view you. And they do a great job with her. And she's great at what she does. I hope they never try to go face with her, at least not for a very long time.
Right.
Because that girl, I could see her like, that's what I meant to say earlier. You guys were talking about AJ Lee and whatchamacallit, the man possibly going for the IC title. To the contrary, I think I'd rather see it on newer or younger talent. I think Lash Legend would be a great IC option. I think the girl that came from the very strong one from TNA, I apologize, I forgot her name right now.
Oh, Jordan Grace.
Jordan Grace is another great option to be an IC title champion. I mean, I tell you the truth, I think what's her name? La Ruda. Um Jesus Christ. What's her
Jordan
name?
Grace looked great in the Rumble too. So did Chelsea
Um,
Green.
Yeah.
Chelsea Green is another. I mean, look, I love Chelsea Green, but you heard Hunter what he said. Unless we're gonna push her as fans, but I think there's a lot of people that could come in here except for AJ. AJ could come in. She don't need a title. Like she could come in
Yeah.
and just have
She could
any
challenge,
beef with
yeah.
anybody and she's titleless and doesn't need anything.
Yeah, and right. She's at that status where she could come in and challenge somebody to a match, or, whatever.
And yeah, and I meant Raquel Rodriguez. That was the name I was forgetting.
I was
Like
trying, yeah.
I think they're reaching a lot for her for a WWE championship. I think they need to step behind because she's not at the same scale as her counterpart. As her as her friend in the group. So that's not right.
Tara over at Facebook made a comment that she would not have been happy about Sol Ruka winning. She's not a fan. I need her to explain how she can't be a fan of Sol Ruka. I mean, everything about her is just incredible. I don't like the gimmick. I'll say that. I don't like the whole surfer cowabunga shit.
It's really 90s.
Right,
like,
but you
surfer
can't
gimmick.
take away what she does in that ring.
She's the girl surfer Sting.
Yeah.
So, somebody
Without
said
the face paint.
she reminds them of Lita. If Lita had a little bit more control when she's doing all of her, because Lita, when she would do her moonsaults and stuff, would just kind of like full send. Sol Ruka's a little more careful, but she's definitely like that, like a kind of a new Lita, like the outfit, the belts, and the checkerboard.
Very
Like
similar.
I can see it. Yeah.
All right. I want to talk about the men's rumble. And I want to start off with some of the things I did not like. Number one.
No, number two. I didn't like number two. Entrant number two. I didn't like what happened.
My pick for months was Braun Breaker, and he had the shortest entry
in history.
We'll get into the rumors of who possibly is the masked man that took him out. We have ideas floating around, so we'll go into that. But I didn't like, you had all these AAA people in there.
Yep.
You had, like, you're going to have a Royal Rumble and not include the New Day. You're going to tell Finn Balor he can't be in the Rumble, but you're going to have La Parka.
Mr. Iguana.
and Mr. Iguana. Like, what are we fucking doing? We had no Jericho, which was disappointing. Obviously, that was a long shot, but it was still disappointing. Brock, okay. Last week, I made it very clear that I get and totally am down with the Yeet Fest week after week, the rerun, everything else. It's great. It's great for the kids. It's an experience, right? We've talked about it. I'm good with it. Not at the fucking Royal Rumble.
Yep.
So now, not only are you coming through that big-ass crowd and yeeting, so the camera doesn't know where to go, if it should focus on you in the crowd or focus what's going on in the ring. You're
Right.
doing your whole entrance. Meanwhile, while that's happening, you have LA Knight and fucking Cody eliminate Brock Lesnar, and they totally miss it on camera.
Yep.
So how the fuck are you eliminating Brock at that moment? Then he goes into the ring to do the repeat. Okay, funny moment with Roman, and then he clocks
like
his head
that.
off. But, like, what are we doing? Like, that was so fucked up for Brock Lesnar. Like, why eliminate him at that moment?
So
I thought-
just, before you go, because I know you have a great point, Steven, this is why I said the women's was better. You didn't feel this negative about the women's not once, and we spoke about it for 15 goddamn minutes. So you're gonna have
he's
to tell
not
me.
wrong.
You
I'm
changed
down
my
here, bro.
opinion now.
It's
I
shit.
might be changing.
I'm
Well, 'cause-
listening to you, and I'm getting upset with you because I got the same fucking feelings. Go ahead, Vince.
Well, because I think there were a couple eliminations like that were very unceremonious. Brock Lesnar being one of them. First of all, when you have Cody, who had a feud with Lesnar, and you had LA Knight, who has kind of been not in the doghouse, but just not featured as much, and that's a big elimination. any other Royal Rumble, you'd have JR and the King screaming about how big of a deal it is that these two guys overpowered the Beast Brock Lesnar. They got him out of the Rumble, blah, blah, blah. It would have been a bigger deal if there wasn't this whole segment going on. And I think there were probably some others if I thought about it, but the other one that I thought was the rudest elimination was Trick Williams gets one. Cody never hits one crossroads. He has to hit 3 of them. He hits one crossroads on the guy and throws him over the top rope. And then Javon and Oba, Javon was the Iron Man, and Oba was in there a very long time, had to get eliminated by Brock Lesnar. So like,
well, here's what I will say though. I did like how Oba was number 1.
That was
because
interesting.
You get his full entrance, so you get the aura of Oba, right? And that crowd was crazy for him. He was, what a great showing for his first Rumble.
Oh yeah,
did an outstanding job. Was in there for a long time. Had his dominance. We did get to see what we wanted. We got to see the face-to-face with Brock. We got that moment. They each got a move off or two, so they teased it a little. They touched a little. So we could be getting that match.
I hope so.
We could be getting it for Mania. It is possible. I want to just shift real quick. I told you we're going to jump around, but this is the perfect opportunity to talk about this. On Monday Night Raw, the War Raiders were supposed to have a tag match. We don't see the War Raiders very much, and they are one of my favorite tag teams. All of a sudden, Oba's music hits. He comes out and destroys the War Raiders.
Yep.
On one hand, it pisses me off that the War Raiders get squashed. On the other hand, it makes total sense because those are big motherfuckers. And Oba came out and destroyed them like they were Rey Mysterio. So it showed his power, his dominance. You know what I mean? It's going to make people scared of him. So in that respect, I thought it was the right move.
No, I think Oba, Oba was a guy. Oba and Javon got over really well without winning a Rumble. That's kind of hard to do have a good enough memorable performance in a Rumble and not win. Very rarely do we talk about people in a 30-man Rumble that just do good and then get eliminated. We don't really think about it anymore, but those two guys showed out. I wanted more. Trick didn't do bad, but I'm going back to what
he
something
wasn't in there very long though.
Right. And so going back to something Al said about how creative determines where you are in things. I think both of these Royal Rumbles told you what creative thinks about all these guys. They're done with Braun. It feels like Braun is not in the world title picture anymore. They're more high on Oba and Javon than they are Trick. And you know what I mean? You just look at the eliminations, the order they eliminated, the way they were eliminated. They're sending a message to certain people. And I think the message with Braun Breaker is that this world title run ain't happening this year. Maybe it's next year, or maybe it's SummerSlam, but it's not.
I'm gonna tell you something, Vince. I think everything you say is correct, and I'm totally against it because I think this guy Trick Williams is special.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I think both of those guys got done. I think Braun Breaker by not get. I know it's a story, but whatever. Him not even getting to participate in the Rumble.
Bro, the amount
14 hours. Fuck that.
The amount of concentration and storyline dedication they've given this guy since Rollins got injured,
right? And
then you go this route and not even like that could have happened. Him as a top 3. Somebody could have came and just grabbed him over the rope and helped him get eliminated in a mask and beat the shit out of him for a little bit, and it would have been more interesting than him just literally just getting squashed.
I'm not upset.
So my question is this: if you're not upset, before you answer your question, I'm sorry. If you're not upset, if he doesn't win Elimination Chamber, which I don't think it looks like he's going to win Elimination Chamber, wouldn't you be upset? Is he frozen?
Oh, he might be.
There has
Steve,
to be.
Oh, there he is.
Yo,
start over. You were frozen.
Run it back. You froze.
Run it back. You were frozen.
All right. what I was gonna say was I'm not gonna be pissed off about it until I know what the payoff is. I feel like they have a plan. So depending on how the payoff is in the end is gonna depend on if I'm pissed off or not. Because I feel like they planned out something bigger and better for Braun. He's been the focal point of every show lately. So I listen, it was interesting. The question is, who was the masked man?
Right.
I don't know, man. I'm running through options and the body.
We know
type-
he had a beard.
Right. The only thing
So-
with yeah.
Do we really think it's not Rollins?
No, because it was like a lighter color. So looking the pictures people have been sharing a lot have been implying either Logan Paul or Austin Theory, because the way the mask was cut out, it shows like the beard on the bottom of his lip. And then they're showing pictures of like those guys with like their mouths in the same kind of position. And I can't tell. I mean, listen, I guess if he had Austin Theory's big old dumper, I should have been able to tell. So maybe it's Logan Paul. But I feel like
You
those
know,
are
I
the two.
heard a rumor that it could be Jake Paul.
Oh, that wouldn't be bad either, because
no, Jake
the
Paul's
first-
bigger.
uh
He's a bigger
Oh,
guy.
that's true.
This
He's
guy,
wider.
this
That's
guy,
true.
yeah, this guy's slender and agile. So I'm in the Logan Paul because of the height that I saw.
mm,
It could have been the camera angle because it was like from the bottom, but the height, he looked tall and agile. And you're right with the beard. I really think it was. And before that happened, I had it as Logan was gonna get caught do something stupid in the Rumble and try to eliminate Braun Breaker, and that was gonna be the breakup of them. That's what I thought was gonna happen.
I
right.
did too.
And
actually.
it makes all the sense in the world, him being the snake and try to maximize his chance of possibly winning the Rumble without him there.
The first thing I did, probably everybody did, was look at the guy's hands to see if he had tattoos. Because if he had tattoos on his hands, it was Chris Jericho.
Too small
there was-
though, not the same body type, I think.
Right.
Yeah, well, that's true.
But I was trying to like see if there was anything. So obviously, whoever it is doesn't have hand tattoos. So it doesn't eliminate a ton of people, but it does remove certain options like Chris Jericho. Jericho's another guy. What, 50 years old? He's not getting on a flight to Saudi Arabia to put on a mask and jump somebody at the Royal Rumble, and that's the
True.
only spot. He's not doing all
He's
that.
gonna come out to some big lavish.
Now I
You
have a
know.
question: is there any AEW releases lately that fit that description?
Well, we did have Hobbs. Not that
No.
description, but we did have Hobbs from AEW, known now as something Royce.
Royce Keys, yeah.
He's a monster. He had a decent showing too for his first Rumble.
Yep.
He did a good job. So I mean, there were some high points, but I just like, you didn't have the New Day, Finn Balor. Like, there was just a lot of people.
Well, the Finn
in it
Balor
that-
thing, that's weird
I mean,
because
well, that's more about story too.
but you end Monday night. First of all, you have Adam Pearce say there's no room in the Rumble, and like you said earlier, all these jabronis were in it. And then you end Monday Night Raw with an angle for a story that you aren't going to get because it was Finn Balor standing tall against CM Punk. And now a week later, the last segment is Roman Reigns CM Punk, because all of a sudden we've got Roman as our Royal Rumble winner. The first time in 11 years, the first time he was cheered winning a Royal Rumble. If you remember the 2015
Yeah, he
Royal
got booed
Rumble,
out of the building.
even the Rock could not
Rock
save
couldn't
him.
save him.
Rock couldn't save him.
The Rock couldn't save his ass.
Tara posed a question. Is it true that Braun Breaker was supposed to be number one? I never heard that. It wouldn't make sense. If they wanted him to be number one, they could have. They could have done the same spot that they did at number one
Right.
at number two. I'm sure the ultimate decision was always Oba, because to start a Rumble with that kind of presence, people probably did not think Oba was going to be the one to open it up, and he did. So I don't think so.
Well, so what she's referencing is somebody posted a screenshot of last week's SmackDown or Raw or one of them, where instead of putting up whoever's entrance, like when somebody makes an entrance, they put their name at the bottom of the screen. Instead of putting the regular Raw talent, hometown, whatever, they accidentally, maybe it's not an accident, but they accidentally put the Royal Rumble entry number at the bottom of the screen. It said Royal Rumble #1 Braun Breaker.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
And somebody snapped a picture of it on their TV. Now, of course, that could be a Photoshop. It could be AI. But It could
I
also
did
just
not know
be.
that.
It could also be they were testing it out. Braun Breaker is the first alphabetical person they could think of, or whatever. They were just using the name to test it out. They pushed the wrong button. It showed the Royal Rumble graphics on the screen. But it did feed into Heyman and Adam Pearce's interaction during the pre-show.
True.
Heyman was like, "You're going to do so. You put him at number 1, didn't you?" And he's like, "No, it's red." So then the reveal is that he's actually number 2. So whether that was just a production error or whether that was like a little tease of like, oh, they're trying to put him at number 1, but we got caught, so we're going to put him at number 2. Like, I don't know.
I mean, either way, he wasn't going to be in the match, so.
Dude, that is. I mean, it happens in Royal Rumble matches, but for the number
Is he
2
injured?
entrant,
No. I mean,
I don't
not
think
that
so.
I've heard of.
Like, it just doesn't make sense, man. Like, it really doesn't.
Well, we have to see if they make it make sense, and that will come along with the payoff of this entire story, because it all will come down to who the masked person was. And we
Right.
could be finding that out at Elimination Chamber, or they may make us wait till Mania at this point.
I don't know, but yeah. I mean, listen, I liked the men's Rumble. It was quicker. It was fast. I think more stuff happened, but I also had more nitpicks, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
the women's Rumble did do a lot of things. We talked about the things that were accomplished in the women's Rumble, and I would say, a good amount of stuff, like Cody getting eliminated by Drew, that furthers that storyline. So there were things going on in the men's Rumble. It was just like,
Well, and that just tells you, that especially after what we found out on Raw, that Cody's going to win the Elimination Chamber, and then he's going to
Right.
face.
Yeah, which sucks.
He's not going to have a choice. He's going to pick Drew McIntyre. And I got to tell you, I'm on the fence whether or not I would rather see Roman Punk or Roman McIntyre. Like, on one hand, there is so much history with Drew McIntyre
right.
that it would make sense. Like, I'm going to still be that thorn in your side that always ruins it for you kind of thing. But then there is history with CM Punk. There is a hatred there, which makes for a great match.
Right. The Shield,
So I
the whole
see
thing.
both. Right. So I see both sides. But in my head, I'm like, I kind of would have rather seen Drew. But that might also be because I'm not so sure I really need to see Cody Drew again. But it looks like ultimately that's what's happening.
Yeah, and listen, not that Punk and Roman aren't going to do a good job to sell this match. It's just funny that Roman is now going after, and he kind of made it clear he wasn't going after the belt; he was going after the person holding it. But this World Heavyweight Championship was created because Roman Reigns was so fucking dominant as the main champion.
Right.
Excuse me, that they had to come up with another belt. Thank you.
Now the question really is, does Roman actually beat Punk, or does Punk actually beat Roman?
No, I think Roman wins. I mean, come
Or
on,
do
it's
goes
we get
over.
do we get a rebranding of the bloodline, and that all comes to fruition, which helps Roman reclaim the tribal chief?
This is the
championship?
reason why I believe there's no way Roman goes over CM Punk. And I think it goes a little bit past them two. And it has to do more with companies. Remember, there was at a time that CM Punk was that guy at AEW while Roman Reigns ruled WWE. So I don't think there's no way creative would ever allow AEW's top guy back then overthrown WWE's top guy back then. You know what I mean?
They put the big belt on Cody immediately, basically. Like they gave him Cody was a main eventer the second he got back from AEW. So I mean,
but
he was
it
and
took
Punk
him
was
2 years
fired.
to beat Roman Reigns.
Yeah, that's true. But
It took him
I
2
agree. Listen,
years, and Undertaker.
I agree with you. I think there's no way Roman loses this match, but there's so many guys and women that have gone from AEW to NXT or WWE that they're not jobbing them out like Jade. They're not jobbing her out. They're not making her look bad because she was in AEW.
Would not have a problem with Roman reclaiming the world title if he's actually going to be around.
Well, that's it. Yeah,
If he's going to win and then he's going to have one match quarterly, that's going to suck. You know what I mean? So, I don't see Roman's schedule changing. I also don't work for WWE, so I'm talking out of, we'll have to see. But I think it's going to be great. The promo work on Raw was great between both of them. Not many can go toe-to-toe with Punk, and Roman did. Roman did a great job on Raw.
He wouldn't have been able to do that 5-10 years ago.
Correct. Yeah,
No.
he's come such a long way. But
That
I
was
don't
such a
want to
good
dive too
promo.
much into Raw. It was such a great promo. And we'll dive more into it, but there is something else we need to talk about at the Rumble, which we officially did see the end of the career
Oh,
of
Jesus
AJ
Christ
Styles.
on a cross. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have a theory on that.
Phenomenal match. No pun intended. Tapping, just like I kind of assumed. Well, he really just passed out, but
He didn't tap. He's braver than John Cena.
he didn't tap. He also took the gloves off and then put them back on. So I really do think he's going to TNA.
Oh, I think he's 100% going to TNA. I would be shocked if he does.
But I am also hearing that WWE has offered him backstage stuff, like producer, working at the PC.
But he can
like they
do
want
that.
to keep him around.
I think
But
he
he
can
can
do that
still
after.
do TNA. Well, he
Right.
can do both.
Yeah, that's true. TNA
So
only
we'll
films
see.
like
But I don't
TNA
think
films
this is it.
every 2 weeks.
Yeah, but I don't think
Tuesday.
this is it. And
I don't think it is either.
what a match. I mean, really, really great match.
Yeah, but now are we gonna get? Now it seems like Gunther's just they've given him, instead of the legend killer, he's the career killer.
So I
Now
have a
he's-
prediction with this.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I don't think this ended yet. So the way I feel is like when AJ put his gloves back, right? He's done with WWE, quote unquote, but I'm assuming he's going back to TNA.
Yeah.
I would put the TNA Championship title on AJ Styles.
Yesterday.
Yeah, 100%, and have him call out Gunther for WrestleMania for a TNA match, and
Ooh.
Gunther beats him in a career-ending match and takes over the TNA World Heavyweight Championship for a little bit.
Have you
And
seen the
elevates
TNA
that
roster?
I
Dude.
don't hate that.
But nobody would. Gunther would hold the TNA title for 1,000 years. There's nobody on that roster that could beat him.
So what? That's what it should be.
A healthy Moose could.
Moose. That's a good one.
Right.
Healthy,
You
though.
keep Moose away from him for a couple of months, and then Moose beats him at SummerSlam or something.
No longer a part of the system either, so
Right.
you know. But and then we had Drew McIntyre, Sami Zayn, and I gotta tell you, I don't know why I didn't care.
Nope.
Like I knew Drew
Not
was
at
gonna
all.
win. I thought the reaction for Sammy was great. I thought the match was fine. Like it's a great match, like it always is. But now Sammy's 13-0 against Drew, or 12, whatever.
But
it
you know
is.
what that means, baby. Next year, Saudi Mania. You got your Muslim guy winning the main event.
It's possible. Oh,
Very
that's
true.
That
But,
it could be.
But I just, unfortunately, I didn't care. But it was a good match. It was a good match.
Yeah, it was like it was like 10, 12 minutes. It was a decent match, but it was just like, yeah, I don't know. I'm with you. I didn't care.
Yeah, I really, like, for me, it was just all about the two Rumbles.
Yeah, but the good thing is you always want a good regular match amongst the matches on the Royal Rumble, like when they had that Daniel Bryan,
Well, we had AJ Gunther.
Bray Wyatt
I
match.
mean,
That's what I'm saying. So you had that one, but it's unfortunate the world title match was not as exciting as it could have been. But we're missing a guy that was in the equation last week, and now that the Royal Rumble happened, we have not talked about him once, and that is Jacob Fatu.
True.
Because even last week we were saying, oh, it'll be Drew, Cody, Jacob in a triple threat. And unless
I don't know what they're gonna do with him yet, unless he wins Elimination Chamber, and somehow they still make it a triple threat. Somehow Cody still gets in there.
Cody would have to
And-
get screwed really bad in the
Right.
Elimination Chamber to have something happen for him to like earn his way into a triple threat match.
And then they do a triple threat at Mania. which I could get behind that. Drew
Well,
versus
I'm smelling the triple threat with Punk and Roman, because I think for some reason there's a way Finn Balor's going to get his way in there, the way they're promoting him lately, and
I
the
was
fact that CM Punk interfered Roman by speaking about Balor, like that threw a little curve. I'm like, wait a minute, I don't think they're done. And like you said, the segment was at the end of the show too, right? So it all like culminated together. If you
Yeah.
catch my drift.
it is weird. That's why I'm wondering about where Finn Balor fits into all this, unless he's the guy that in between so at Elimination Chamber, he's the guy that challenges Punk or tries to earn his way into a WrestleMania main event. I don't know.
I
There
think
could
they
be a
kind
path
of
there.
hinted during the promo with Punk and Roman last night that it almost feels like they're going to do it at Elimination Chamber. CM Punk versus
Finn Balor.
Finn Balor for the title. After that vignette promo that Finn Balor wrote, and then when CM Punk first got in the ring after interrupting our tribal chief, which that part of the promo was very funny, with Roman being like, "You're really gonna come out here, interrupt my segment, and not even talk to me? You're gonna talk to..."
Right.
So that was funny, but we'll have to see. There are a lot of pieces to the puzzle that they still have plenty of time to figure out and guide us down that road. Plus things could change 100 times before Mania too. So
It's true.
I mean, the way these guys went at each other, that pipe bomb was great. Like they just threw jabs left and right at each other.
got personal.
And then when you thought the next
podcast.
guy couldn't say shit, he comes out with something different. You're like, whoa, hold up.
Yeah. I mean, talking about the Colt Cabana podcast, and I mean but Roman made it personal, like CM Punk was going to make it personal. Talked about the bracelet, So, and then to finish the whole thing with Roman saying, "And at WrestleMania, you will acknowledge me," and it just the whole thing. Roman did a great job. You always know Punk is going to deliver. But when you're up against Punk in the promo battle, you automatically assume you got no shot against Punk. Roman held his own. Roman did a great job.
Yeah, very few could do that throughout his Punk's career, and I say he did an excellent job staying up against Punk. It was great to see.
It was great. The crowd was great. Braun Breaker opened Raw by destroying ringside. I always love when they do shit like that and start off just with somebody going nuts. Braun Breaker was unleashed. Heyman couldn't control him. He was, of course, escorted out of the building, come to find out, because Pierce will not allow somebody to hijack his show. So that whole saga continues.
Man, the more we get into this, the more I feel like Paul Heyman is calling Chris Jericho to try and take over as the new general manager. Like, I don't know. I know it was like Vince Russo or Bully Ray or somebody said that a month ago, and I've just kept it in the back of my mind. And as we keep, because we were talking last week, maybe he called Brock Lesnar, maybe he called this one, maybe he called that one. Like, Chris Jericho is just in the back of my mind as the maybe on that.
I don't know.
I'd rather see him come in and just fuck somebody's life up, honestly. And maybe later on he could transition to that.
Right, but I mean, he would come in as a wrestler, but like with the intention of like, this is the guy Paul Heyman called in to like fuck up Adam Pearce's plans, and then like plant the seeds of like Adam Pearce is doing a bad job, and then 6 months down the line you got Chris Jericho, Adam Pearce, and the winner becomes the general manager of Raw or some shit like that.
Yeah, okay.
Because Adam Pearce can wrestle. I don't know if he still can, but he is a former NWA World Heavyweight Champion from the early 2000s or mid 2000s, and as far as I know, he can still go. Like
By the
Aldis.
way, one thing we also forgot to mention about the Rumble for the men, we did get Grande Americano and the original Grande Americano.
That was
It was a great moment in the Rumble,
Great.
and then it also bled out to Raw. because Javon Evans fought Grande Americano, but then the original came out, and it helped Javon by distraction get the win.
So is the OG a face now? I'm assuming.
Yeah, I mean the crowd popped hard for him.
Yeah, that's what it seemed. I thought they were going the other way. I thought the OG, when he came out and confronted the one that was already in the ring at the Rumble, I thought he was the bad guy. Because well, here's the thing: we didn't know at the time, but also Saudi doesn't seem to be that into it. They didn't pop as big as if you were in the U.S. and you had that stare down, or if you were in AAA and you had the two Americanos, you would have had a much bigger reaction than Saudi Arabia. And that was kind of the thing for a lot of if you weren't an established, not legend, but like you haven't been there a long time, the Saudi fans, not as familiar, doesn't really know AAA, didn't really know Powerhouse Hobbs. So the Lucha guys and Powerhouse Hobbs really didn't get that much of a reaction.
That's fair. That's true. I did notice that. Gunther, to carry on with his prickness, came out on Raw to AJ's music, doing his entrance.
I thought that looked so goofy. I'm like, dude, you're such a big tough guy. Please don't do that.
But it was supposed to.
No, I know. It's just funny seeing this big.
It was hilarious. But he comes up. He's talking shit. Dragon Lee came out to defend the honor of AJ. It didn't really get him anywhere. Gunther continued to destroy. We already talked about it. Obafemi wrecked the hell out of the War Raiders. But really making a case. And they made it a point to say he's still a free agent, which tells you he's going to show up on SmackDown.
Right.
And he's going to destroy somebody on SmackDown this week, too. So at least you know you have something to look forward to with Oba. You had the official announcement that the Bella Twins are back. Brie and Nikki came out to address the crowd. So sounds like Nikki's back to being a face. She's got Big Show syndrome. But they have announced that they are going for the titles that were not available when they were a tag team, and that is the women's tag titles. So we'll see how that goes. You know, Brie was asked why now, and she said the division is better than ever. There's so many tag teams, but they all wrestle a lot better than the Bella Twins. So it's going to be interesting to see. It's just a different generation.
Right.
You know, so it's going to be interesting to see how they hold up.
I mean, we've seen lesser talent get over before. Fuck Goldberg.
Yeah, but I wonder if, like, you know, while Bree's been away, did she? You know, there's ring rust and all that, but has she been training? Did she like learn some new tricks?
She said she's been training.
Okay, so we'll
see.
She's
been training. She's been doing a lot of media. So
and she's the one that's married to Bryan Danielson. So if you know, if anybody's going to train her, that's the guy.
True.
Right. I'm sure he's not going to let his wife go
movement.
out there and make a fool out of herself.
Right. And
No.
she's going out there carrying the Yes movement. You know.
Yeah, because people are still
crowd's
doing all that. She's doing the kicks and all. So yeah, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. You had Penta versus Bronson Reed. Great match. Penta gets the win because of LA Knight. But that was great. We had the return of Dirty Dom. Like, if he's cleared, another miss. Why didn't you have him return at the Rumble?
Yeah.
You know? So I thought that was kind of shitty, but the mullet is longer. The mustache is thicker.
Yeah.
The tattoo has increased on the neck. Great to see Dirty Dom back. Got a great reaction. Liv got a face reaction from the crowd in Philly. Even as annoying as she was in her promo, they loved her. Basically, and then Raquel came out and she had to explain why, you know, she did what she did because she's getting a shot. She's getting a shot, but that's going to... Raquel is not going to forget what Liv did. And just remember the look in Liv's face when she did it. She was laughing at her. So...
Yeah, but I also see why, like, face or heel, crowds will still tend to, like, lean towards the more charismatic person. And Raquel's great and all, but, like, when you have somebody like Liv who just captivates people's attention in a certain kind of way, it's an uphill battle. It's going to be an uphill battle for Raquel to be a babyface in this. So we'll see how that...
Well, Raquel stayed around and had her Philadelphia street fight against Stephanie Vaquera for the title, which was a great match. There were some issues within the match, but they recovered well. Like there was that botched chair in the corner, but the momentum of the ring, it didn't hold. But they transitioned and covered it up pretty well on the fly, I thought. Raquel also had issues at one point getting the chair. It didn't go all the way over, but she caught it, she recovered, and she threw it in. So, I mean, there were things like that. But overall, it was a brutal match. They beat the shit out of each other. I liked the finish. Liv was told not to get involved. She got involved anyway, so that's going to continue, her issues with Raquel, because Raquel ultimately did not win that match. But overall, I thought they did an outstanding job. And then that brought us to the Roman promo to end the night. And it's just always nice when you get Roman back on television.
And that's the thing. When he's on, like, both on TV and when he's on and he's feeling it, you wouldn't say this 10 years ago. He is one of the best to do it, man. In promos, and now his wrestling has improved as well over the years. Like he became the guy that they wanted him to be when they first started pushing him. And it took a heel turn in the bloodline and everything else to get us there. But like, it's great to see if he's going to be there. There's always that asterisk right now.
Right. That's what I said. He's got to be there. But I got to tell you too, like, and this is going to be controversial, but I am okay with a rebranding of the bloodline. Like bring back Sami in, bring Jacob in. Bring the Usos in, so like Jacob replaces Solo. Like right. I'm good with that.
Well, one of the things I was going to say, and I it sounded silly because he's not factored into any of the main event stuff right now. But in my head, I'm like, what if at the end of WrestleMania Night 2, you have the Eddie Chris Benoit moment, but with Roman and Jacob in the ring celebrating because Jacob just won, and Roman comes out to congratulate him, or the other way around, and you got those guys in the ring, the confetti, the other bloodline rolls in, they all throw up the ones, the cameras are going off, the pyro's going off, the confetti's falling, they're all pointing up, blah, 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 credits. Beautiful. The bloodline's back, and they're baby faces.
I would love that.
And they're running.
I think that would eventually happen.
It'll be great. I would love. I mean, as sick as we got of the bloodline, they haven't been around for a while, and now you're like, where's the bloodline been?
And to be honest with you, I never got sick of them.
I didn't get sick of them because they kept changing it up. The only thing that got silly was that once you had the real bloodline against the Great Value bloodline, it was like, all right, we gotta clean this up because like now there are too many guys and this Job Squad bloodline ain't cutting it. Right. In the way that the original was. But if they get back, like you said, if you can figure a way to get Sami and the Usos, Jacob and Roman all on the same page as the bloodline, money.
Yeah, it would be great. And now it would be a face run. We had the heel run. Now you get the face run. Hey, baby girl, how are you?
Hey, Addie.
My daughter's watching. But yeah, so I would love it, man. I would love it. But now, do you do it without a wise man? Do you get a different wise man? Do you bring Heyman back in? Which I don't think you do that.
I have, and I've been saying this for maybe 2 years now, maybe more. My suggestion: Armando Alejandro Estrada.
That's hilarious, but he's not a face manager.
The Samoan bulldozer. Come on, man.
I would bring Leo Rush.
Oh.
Bring Leo Rush little ass and say like his mom is like a quarter Samoan. And that's how he gets in there. And he wears a suit every day and takes hella bumps. That'd be great because he talks hella shit.
He is a little shit, and people would want. But if we're looking for a babyface manager, I mean, there is no such thing as a babyface manager anymore, is there?
Well, that's true.
No, not an over babyface manager.
Oh, you know what? She just quit, but Ava Raine.
Well, she quit.
I know. But they think if they used that's all. That whole thing's a situation anyway. 'Cause she came in as a wrestler. I think she got a couple knee injuries. Was like, I'm not going to fuck my fucking knees up for the rest of my life.
She also wasn't very
this.
good,
So they moved her to
especially
only-
being The Rock's
yeah.
daughter.
The
Like,
only
she was not
face
very good.
manager that'll be able to get over is our good friend. What's his name? The kicker. Fuck, I forgot his name right now.
Oh, McAfee.
McAfee.
That would be funny.
McAfee will be the funniest manager in the history.
After
of
having this
business.
conversation, I think it would be best that the revised version of the Blonde Line has no
No,
manager.
no Wiseman. How about if they poached Stokely Hathaway from AEW and they put Stokely as the manager of the Bloodline?
I mean, if we're going there, I would much rather have what's his face?
Don Callis?
No, not as a face.
No, not as a face. No.
Fucking oh shit, brain fart. Strickland's manager.
Oh, Nana.
I'd rather have Prince Nana.
Nana with the Bloodline. Oh, that would be Nana
Nana
doing
with the
the
bloodline
yeet.
be
That
fire.
would be so funny. Selling his coffee. Oh
Yes.
man, it would be great. Well, anything else we wanted to bring up before we wrap for this evening? We are getting to the top of the hour.
Yeah, I got one thing to say.
Fuck Goldberg.
Fuck Goldberg.
There it is. Yeah, man, I think we covered it all. I mean, what the only thing that's coming up next is SmackDown. You know, when we come back next week, again, there's going to be Raw, SmackDown as usual, but like SmackDown is going to be where we start setting the table
Yes.
for both Elimination Chamber and WrestleMania, because if Cody's going to win, they're going to kind of hint at that in this, you know, that they'll lead you in that direction. It would be very interesting to see him somehow get screwed out of it and Jacob wins the chamber. And then in order to he has to fight his way in to earn a shot with a triple threat. I don't know. There's something there. It shouldn't, in my mind, it shouldn't just be Cody winning the Elimination Chamber. It should be a little more pizzazz to it.
I happen to agree, but it is Cody, and how many times do you bet against Cody? So-
Exactly.
And on that note, we have reached
Alright.
the top of the hour.
Indeed, we have. Well, thanks, guys, for tuning in. Thank you, Tara and Addie, for all your comments. Thank you, Tara, for wishing me a happy birthday. Thank you to all the birthday wishes I got yesterday. It was a ton, so thank you so much. And, yeah, with that, we've reached the end of another edition of the War Report After Dark. We do this every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and whether you're on Facebook or YouTube or wherever you are, just go back to the exact same page you're on, and we'll be back next Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. I almost said 7, but that was our old time, 2 years ago. We don't do that one anymore. It's 9 p.m. on Eastern Time on a Tuesday evening on YouTube or Facebook. Here's how you do it. You go to Facebook, and on the search bar, you type in Tag Me a Date. Oh, thank you for saying we did fantastic, Addie. I
Thank
think
you,
we did
baby
pretty
girl.
good.
Love you very much. Thank
Oh.
you.
So if you go to Facebook, you type Tag Me a Date in the search bar, you'll find our page. Hit the thumbs up follow button, and our live stream will pop up in your news feed. If you go to YouTube, you type in Tag Me a Date in the search bar, you will see our channel. Hit the subscribe button and then hit the notification bell. You will get a notification sent to your tablet or your phone when we go live on a Tuesday night. It sends you the alert 30 minutes before the show. All you have to do is tap on it. It brings you right there. If you want to follow us on social media, it's at Tag Me a Date, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter /X, and Instagram. And then on TikTok, search for The War Report Podcast. Once again, you'll see The War Report Podcast page. Hit the follow button on TikTok. And on social media is where we post shorts and reels of what we talked about the week before leading up to next Tuesday's show. And if you prefer an audio version instead of the video version of the podcast, you can go to your favorite podcast app, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Spotify, Google Play Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, type in The War Report, type in Tag Me a Date. You'll see us. Hit the subscribe button. Ryan or Steve will grab the audio between Tuesday and Wednesday. We upload it. So all you have to do is be subscribed. It goes right to your tablet or your phone. And with all that being said, we will be back next week for another edition of the War Report After Dark. Leave a like on your way out. Have a great week. We will see you on Tuesday evening.